Hello adventurers, I'm Amy, though I go by Halska at Bicolline, and this year I am bringing a few new folks to the Grande Bataille and answering their questions publicly with videos I hope might help others as well. Maybe that's you. A question that has come up is how to deal with having your period at Bicolline. This is something some people have to deal with. So how do you dispose of things, stay clean, what to expect while you're camping, what supplies you should pack. Having some answers might help ease your anxiety about going to Bicolline in general, and I haven't seen this answered publicly before, so it is my pleasure to help with some advice. So this video is for fellow menstruating folks who might be attending an overnight LARP, particularly a camping LARP like Bicolline's Grande Bataille. If you do not menstruate, but know or even love someone who does, this video might still be an informative guide for you in helping to take care of or understand that person. And I am including a little guide at the end of this video specifically for you. So, let's say the dreaded has happened. You've been waiting and preparing for Bicolline for months, perhaps years. The week arrives, and your period begins while you were camping. How do you make sure it won't ruin everything? Maybe you are lucky and you know in advance that your period is going to land during the week, or maybe it will be a freak accident. And the Duchess Flow arrives unexpectedly at your tent stop without invitation. In any case, you ought to come prepared with strategy, supplies, and creature comforts to get you through just in case. And maybe your preparedness might help someone else as well. First, I would recommend using whatever method you normally use, be that pads, tampons, a menstrual cup, or padded underwear. You do not want to be going through the learning curve of using a new method for the first time while you're camping. You just want to be comfortable and be familiar with everything. That said, if you use a tampon, you must be diligent about replacement. Depending on the tampon, every 4 to 8 hours maximum, you need to change it. Bicolline is a very distracting place, and it is easy to lose track of time when you are separated from technology and fully immersed in a new world. Risking toxic shock syndrome because you accidentally left a tampon in for over 8 hours is a worst case scenario and to be avoided. That's why if you have the bandwidth before Bicolline, my personal recommendation is to learn how to use a menstrual cup and test it out for a couple periods to see if it might work for you. This greatly reduces the risk for toxic shock and other complications, and you are able to leave it in for 12 hours before changing it, assuming you do not fill it before that point. A cup also means you are not dealing with disposing of bloody trash or staining your nice costume due to an ill-placed pad, and in my experience, I have less cramping when I use a cup. But again, the method you choose should be the one you are most comfortable with. So what should you bring? Enough of your preferred method to last through a typical period for you, plus a little extra, in case the Duchess Flow graces you with her presence for longer than anticipated. That could be a box of tampons and pads, a menstrual cup or two, or as many padded underwear as you think you'll use. I would also recommend, whatever method you're using, to pack a few extra panty liners just in case. You might be moving around a lot more than normal, so it's nice to have an extra safety measure even if you don't normally use pads in addition to tampons or a cup. Next, a large pack of bio-friendly wet wipes. This is up to your personal preference, what you want to use. Just make sure they are safe to use down there and dispose of them properly. Related to that, Ziploc bags. These will give you a place to put unsanitary napkins or wet wipes until you can find a proper trash can. And you can also put a few new wet wipes into a Ziploc and carry it around with you around Bicolline just in case. That way you're not carrying a full wet wipe container with you to battle. Next, a portable light that can hang easily. This will save you. If in the middle of the night you need to go to the porta potties and switch something out or clean yourself, you have an emergency, trying to hold a light source in a dark, cramped porta potty while you are bleeding, it's not a great time. I had a little torch. I found a torch on the ground. I did not steal it. I found a torch on the ground and I just had to like hold it between my teeth. But ideally, something you can place on top of the toilet paper to light up the space, or even hang on the door before you close and lock the door, that would be grand. A light source will save you. I will go over light sources you should plan on bringing in another video. Next, toilet paper and or tissues. I prefer bringing both. It may be the case that you need to change a method in your tent, and it's important you have something on hand. Last year, I was in Nova Vitae, a new guild with the Voyage North, and it took a solid 15 or 20-minute walk down a hill, cross a river, up a hill, wind your way to get to the closest bathroom. Needless to say, it was a bit inhumane for those of us with tiny bladders who often have to go in the middle of the night when it is freezing and wet and possibly raining. 18 inches in 12 hours. So yes, I peed in the woods. Behind our tents, in the foliage under the trees, many times, and having a roll of toilet paper saved not only me, but several other guildmates who were having very similar problems. That said, before you leave your tent to relieve yourself, spray your bottom with insect repellent and think of me. You often don't have much say in where you will be camping, and if you are really far from a restroom, it's good to be prepared. Again, always collect any of your used paper and store it in a Ziploc until you can properly dispose of it. Finally, pain medications or any of your usual comforts you use to get through a period. For me, that is ibuprofen and caffeine. So I bring a large thing of ibuprofen and an assortment of teas that can be brewed cold. Though heating them over a fire is also great if someone in your camp or you can bring a fire-safe teapot. Thank you, Magda. Now for some general questions and answers before we get into staying comfortable. First, how do you dispose of sanitary products? For your tampons, wet wipes, pads, it should be okay for you to toss them into the on-site porta potties. Bear with me. They are not the compostable type of portable toilet, and since there is no sanitation trash box inside, that is the indication that it is okay to toss your used products directly into the toilet. It's likely it's going to be emptied at the local dump or landfill. If there is a trash box inside next year, use that, of course. And if you are not sure or want to be extra safe, just wrap it in toilet paper and toss it into the trash cans just outside of the porta potties. And if they want you to do anything specific or anything changes, there will be signs in French and English with instructions on what to do. Do not worry. Do not litter, which includes throwing your trash into the forest or burying anything, even if it is compostable. Just pack in, pack out, or use the appropriate trash can on site. What happens if you run out of supplies? There is a small medieval grocery type convenience store. Ask anyone for directions there, and the ladies there will sort you out and will have things for you to buy. The pickings might be slim, they might not have exactly what you are used to, but it is a fail-safe just in case. Also, do ask your fellow menstruating folk. Chances are many people brought extras in order to share in this exact situation, and we will be ecstatic to help. Next question, can I swim in the river on my period? Unless you are using a method that allows you to swim, you'll likely want to avoid swimming in the river, but feel free to dunk your feet and keep others company. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. For other reasons, you'll be wanting to take your your main showers in the legitimate bathrooms anyway. Final question, cleaning your menstrual cup. I'm sorry. For fellow cup preferers, the major issue while camping here is cleaning your menstrual cup before you use it again. There are a few strategies. One, simply dump into the toilet or the porta potty, clean it thoroughly with one of your wet wipes, give it a rinse from your water bottle, shake it off, and then use it again. This is fine when you are in a rush, in a portable potty, and this is the best you can do. Another option, use your shower card to swipe into the nice bathrooms, use an actual toilet, and an actual sink with actual soap to give it a proper wash before using it again. This is a little more expensive and time intensive, as the nice bathrooms are always a very long walk. This requires a shower card as well. So each shower card is about $20, I believe. and it has 8 swipes on it. You use one swipe to get into the nice bathroom. There might be a line. And you use another swipe to take a shower. So you can use one swipe just to use the bathroom and leave without taking a shower, even though it is called the shower card. Your third strategy, bring 2 or more menstrual cups. Wipe one down after using it and then just put it in your bag, switch to the second one, and then visit the nice bathroom next time to wash both of them again. This, if your Dutch's flow is kind, means walking to the nice bathrooms about once per day, roughly every 24 hours of your period, which can be nice. Do not clean your cup with the portable sinks next to the porta potties. Unless the water there is specifically labeled as potable. I believe it was non-potable water, so you do not want to clean with it or drink from it. Also, don't clean your cup or anything, even dishes, at the public water fountains or water pumps. Those are meant for filling things up only. You can always fill up a tub with water and bring it back to your camp if you need to do dishes or other washing. But you're just supposed to be using those to fill up your water containers. Also, just to clarify, it is perfectly fine and expected for you to dump your period blood into a porta potty. Do not worry about that. That is expected. So how do you remain comfortable? You're on your period on an 8-day medieval adventure. You might have really common period symptoms. That's headache, fatigue, fever, cramps, and more frequent bathroom use. If you have bad cramps, keep on top of that pain with regular ibuprofen or your chosen medication. Now is not the time to suffer and go down into a spiral. Visit the little medieval cafe and get a lovely cup of coffee. Caffeine is supposed to help ease period symptoms. And so if caffeine is okay with you and your system, go and get a cup of coffee or brew yourself a little mug of tea at camp. Ask around. Someone might know a place to get hot water, or shopkeep or food vendor might help you out. Finding hot water to brew tea is its own sort of quest. Stay warm and stay dry. You are at a slightly elevated risk of getting sick while you're on your period. Do not overdo it. Wear layers. Take extra care to stay warm at night. And if you happen to get wet and or cold, warm back up as soon as you can and change your clothes as soon as you can. Next, tell a buddy that you trust. When you are dealing with your period at what is supposed to be a very fun event, it's easy to feel all alone, get up in your head, maybe get embarrassed, and maybe feel like you're being a nuisance. But everyone at Bicolline is gonna go through something at some point. The people around you do just want to help. So please make an effort to trust at least one person with the knowledge so that they can help take care of you and advocate for your needs. And you're likely not the only one on their period. So if you reveal that information first, other people are probably going to chime in like, oh no, me too. What do we do? Related to finding a buddy you trust, find a bathroom buddy. This is good advice regardless of whether you menstruate. If you frequently need to urinate and know you will need to pee in the middle of the night or very early in the morning, and you cannot solve things in the forest, it is good to find a partner in crime who has similar bladder needs, and agree to walk together to the bathroom whenever either of you have a strong need in the nighttime. So decide on a system with that person in order to wake each other up if the need does strike. And if you are in the same tent, that's easy. Maybe it's just a gentle shake awake. If you are in a different tent, agreeing with each other's roommates what is acceptable in order to wake each other up is a good idea. Maybe they're a really light sleeper and you just need to whisper at their side of the tent, I need to pee. Or perhaps you don't want to say that and you'd rather have like a secret code phrase you agree on together, like, urination necessitation. Maybe they are a heavy sleeper, but their roommate agrees that you can go inside and gently wake them up if necessary. Just make sure that everyone is in the know who might be affected. It can be very concerning to wake up with a random person inside of your tent. So now you and your bathroom buddy can bundle up, gather the appropriate light sources, and head out to the bathroom together. And if you would like all of this to be more decorum, you can always cite the need to walk with a buddy to avoid skaven out at night. Next tip, drink lots of water. Even if you are not losing blood, Bicolline can be a very dehydrating experience. Although walking, exposure, potentially fighting and sweating in the sun, anyone needs an insane amount of water to keep up with this, but you are also losing blood. My strategy every single time I walk by a fountain or a water pump, I fill up my little belt mug, drink it all, and then fill it again and walk away while drinking it. This depends obviously on how big your mug is, but please, every time you have the opportunity, drink some water and make sure the people around you are drinking water. Next, take it easy. If you are able to push through and do battle, that is great. But if you need to take a full afternoon or full day off, even if you're not menstruating, if you need to do this, sitting in your tent, journaling or braiding hair or doing face paints or crafts with other people at the camp, that is also great. You don't have to go a mile a minute for every minute of Bicolline. It's really important that you have those relaxing moments to yourself, or in the calm company of others. And taking care of yourself now does mean that you can enjoy everything more later. You don't want to break yourself early in the week. Pace yourself. Final tip, make friends anyway. Try not to spend too much time alone. If you are not up for something crazy, don't worry. There will always be people around doing casual things, even when battles and games are going on. Our magpies last year had a bit of a hobble squat. A few of us with mobility issues who can participate in battles. And we thought we would be lonely, but there ended up being just so many people like us who couldn't. And we had a great time, people watching, crafting, just hanging out. So even if your energy is low and you need to take it easy at any point or the whole time, take it easy with some friends. And now, the guide to the companions of those who menstruate. It's a short guide, just 4 things that you can do to be helpful to support the persons near you who may or may not be menstruating. I'm going to assume that you are friends with or partners with someone who has just started their period at Bicolline. Maybe you also menstruate, maybe you don't. They have told you, a person they trust, perhaps they have bad cramps, they need some alone time, or maybe they don't need alone time. They need a person there. Maybe they just need to cry from the unfairness of it all. Or maybe they just need somebody to bring them a biscuit. That's me. You know them better than I do, so I hope you know how to comfort them. But might I also suggest a few more things that you can offer? 1, volunteer to be their bathroom buddy if you can. Let them know that even in the middle of the night, if they need to go to the bathroom, you are dedicated to helping them get there without complaints. Let them know what they need to do to notify you, wake you up, and if you are in a different tent or have roommates, make sure you coordinate and make sure that the method of notification is okay with everyone. Number 2, offer to bring food, water, best of all, coffee. If the first day is the worst for them, or maybe the second day is the worst for them, and they need to take the morning off, coordinating and getting them the things they need and even making maybe a small fetch quest out of it with some others is amazing. Thank you for reminding each other constantly to drink water and keeping your menstruating friends hydrated. If they're stuck at camp for a while, just make sure they've got a large source of water and maybe a snack at hand, and make sure they're not missing meals, because as soon as you get behind and you miss a meal, it's just a slow spiral down. Number 3, just check in occasionally with a thumbs up. Don't make a big deal out of it or anything. I know I hate being harassed about how I'm feeling when I'm not feeling great. So maybe just flash a thumbs up, and maybe they'll flash one right back, like, yeah, I'm still doing good. Or maybe they'll do like the shaky hand, like they're not doing so great. Maybe that means that there's an issue that needs to be handled. But the low-key thumbs up check-in is a great way to check in with anyone at any time out of role play to make sure people are doing all right. So if it's a tense situation, if you're not sure if someone's just acting or just role playing, if they're actually not okay, or if someone's just quiet, a thumbs up test is great. And you don't even have to be right next to the person. You can just kind of catch their eye and be like, you okay? And they can be like, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for checking. That's just nice. So check up on each other. So last year, so why I'm so knowledgeable about all of this is I started my period right before Bicolline, which meant that my first 2 or 3 days at the Grande Bataille were period days. I was really stressed about it beforehand because I knew it was going to happen. But once I was there, it was all more easily taken care of than I expected. it's just hard to know what to expect before you're there. So I hope this video was helpful and puts your mind at ease. If I missed anything, please leave it in the comments below to help others. So may Lady Luck be on your side, and if not, I hope the Duchess Flo is kind and ends her visit quickly. Thank you for watching. I am Helska. Take care, and see you at Bicolline.